Hey everyone, Bob Downey here, Bassmaster Elite Series Pro. We're out on the water today with Bass U. We're going to do a deep dive into drop shot fishing. I grew up in Minnesota, upper Midwest. Clear, natural lakes is what I grew up fishing for both largemouth and smallmouth. And that's why a drop shot is one of my favorite techniques that I like to use, simply because of the area that I grew up in. You know, we didn't grow up flipping dirty, muddy rivers. I grew up fishing clear, natural, rocky grass lakes. And not only is drop shot, you know, super effective on smallmouth, but it's extremely effective on highly pressured largemouth or clear water largemouth as well. So today we're going to jump into all things drop shot. We're going to deep dive for you, break down different ways that I like to rig it, my rod, reel, line setup, little tricks that I've learned over the years. We're going to get into it. So first of all, the rod setup. For me, I keep it pretty simple. I've been using this rod actually for the last like 7-8 years. It's a St. Croix 7-foot medium fast, nothing fancy. I like a rod that doesn't really have too stiff of a backbone to it when you're throwing a drop shot. You're generally dealing with lighter line, smaller hooks. So you want a rod that's gonna give a little bit. Stay away from your medium heavies. You know, mediums to medium lights are gonna get the job done in that 7 to 7.5 foot range. Personally, I like a 7-footer. Some guys like a longer one. Maybe if you're making longer casts and working that bait back, you might want a longer rod to pick up more line on the hook set. I like a 7-footer. It kind of does, it's a do-all for me. So 7-foot medium fast. A 3,000 to a 4,000 size spinning reel is my personal preference. I like a spinning reel with a little bit bigger spool on it. I feel like I can pick up line a bit faster when I set the hook and reel those fish in. And I can also, if I need to make a longer cast, I feel like I can do that better with a 3,000 to 4,000 size spinning reel. For the line, I'm using braided line to a fluorocarbon leader. In this particular setup, I'm going to be talking about, you know, how I drop shot for largemouth. We'll get into other ways of drop shotting for smallmouth and different setups. For my largemouth drop shot setup, it's a 10-pound braided main line to generally an 8 to 12-pound fluorocarbon leader. And I'm basing that fluorocarbon leader size on a number of different things. I'm really not really dropping down to 8-pound test unless I'm dealing with super pressured fish and really clear water situations. A lot of times I like 10 to 12 for largemouth, especially on our lakes that have zebra mussels now. A lot of these clear water natural lakes have a lot of zebras and they're all over the grass, and so having that 10 to 12-pound test is going to help you with less breakoffs throughout the day. You know, a lot of times when you're largemouth fishing with a drop shot, you're around grass, you hook those fish, the first thing they want to do is bury up in the grass. Having a 10 to 12-pound fluorocarbon leader is going to help for less breakoffs in those situations. Leader length for me, you know, I'm tying, I guess maybe let me back up. I'm usually tying an FG knot, braid to fluorocarbon. You know, learn how to do it. Check out Bass U's videos on FG knots. I'm sure they got a bunch of them out there. It's my preferred knot for throwing braid to fluoro. It takes a little bit to learn, but once you get it down, it's not too bad. It's going to come through the guides the best, and you're going to find less wear on your line right where that knot connects. If you tie like a uni knot and you're firing that thing all day long, you're going to notice a lot of wear on the first couple inches of your fluorocarbon leader right where that knot connects. So that FG going through the guide smoothly is going to cause less wear on your leader.